Even though it has been somewhat warm in the past, if Japan itself is anything like what has been shown in anime when it gets a little bit hot, with people almost not metaphorically melting, not sure I want to go there anymore. But if it's as I expect, and it's just people being people, complaining when they are slightly aggravated, whether it by heat or the actions of others, it should all be fine. Although if that preview is anything to go by, there's not going to be any actual music coming out of the music club this time, is there? So much for that practicing in secret. But we're going to have to watch the episode. Let's get going. Oh no. Spend your time meaningfully? I'm so glad I don't have to justify everything I've been doing. Well, looks like she was outvoted. So much. This is why I love democracy. They call it a training camp, but what is it in reality? And I haven't actually been listening to any forms of music recently outside of like anime openings and whatnot. Apart from sea shanties. Apparently I am growing into that pirate lifestyle. You know, it's just that I don't really like listening to music if it's not accompanied by visuals or anything to go with it. Because it's usually when I'm doing something else is when I'm even got time to think about music. I saw she got up in advance for their arrival. You should have known this was happening. So rules are meant to be, if not broken, at least worked around according to these lot. Just introduce any sort of food item and you've won her heart or stomach. A summer festival. What a great place to show them how they really need to take things more seriously. And maybe if they had gotten out there, they could have been one of these bands taking place. Hopefully not too high up. They're not some sort of dwarves. Oh, even better. Oh, that's where that comes from, is it? Probably the wrong thing, yes. How surprising that she would have a bunch of tickets. What are you talking about? She's been there the entire time. If this was any other show and a teacher just turns up at your house and asks for tea, so, not sure about this. Moogie sitting there, completely enthralled. And in such a population dense place as Japan, those square cars, yeah, sure. But for me, they look terrible. I wonder who that is. Ah, now we're just waiting on the one that's obviously going to be late. How? How did she get there? She must have camped out. Nope. Nope. It's fine. Does she have a hangover or something? I don't know about that. Kind of, maybe a little. Bloody idiot. Sure. Does she have any anti-motion sickness tablets or other sort of? I'm not sure what they are, but like placebo effect things, like the bracelets and whatnot. Don't shout too loudly. There are some people trying to get some rest, and others being violently ill. Hopefully things go well for her and she actually gets to see all of these concerts. Yeah, but feeling ill and sweet are two separate events. I'm so glad we got to see that. You don't want to see her when she's angry. Yeah, don't press on her. I feel like they're all going for different reasons here. But I feel like I would be that guy that you saw up the front, just like, great, I have to sit near these people. At least keep quiet if I'm trying to take a nap. He doesn't have the greatest arithmetic skills. This isn't like a new day, new you. I don't think you realise just how seriously she's going to take this event. She's freaking out already. Yeah, you just have to, yep, camp on a slope. Yeah, you don't have to face downhill, although she will end up down there anyway if she keep the way she moves around. Is she a hermit crab? Yep, hopefully you did, Azia. Keeping up those electrolytes. Well, she is supposedly the teacher. Yeah, if you're going to be on your feet all day, you want to wear some comfortable shoes. Bugs? No one told me there's going to be bugs. Is there going to be enough for all of them? Oh my god, who's the most excited out of all of them? I can imagine festivals like that in Japan, when all things are done and over, the ground is a hell of a lot cleaner than ones in England or America. It's usually just like a trash heap by the time it's done. Cutting edge bands with zealous fans. Oh no. That doesn't sound like a good combination when there's hundreds of thousands, well, tens of thousands of people. Fair enough. It's good that they're kind of got its own area depending on what kind of thing you want to experience. You're here mainly for the music, remember? Well, most of them. And what, she had already thought about bringing them? Oh. Never mind! They saw her at the wedding. But the self-doubt there at the end of her sentence. Aww. Poor teacher. Hmm. I haven't been to a festival, but when I went to concerts and whatnot, I would only ever be near the front. Any further back, you can't really see or hear. It's not at all because up the front was the most kind of energetic and almost violent. She has awoken. You've heard like 15 seconds of it. Fair enough. That's enough. So you're gonna get a minute of each band. That's all you're allowed. They're splitting up already. Well, you don't really get to experience this kind of thing all the time, so just do what you want. Ah, that's what you're worrying about. Instant affinity with him. It's almost as if being left-handed is a rare breed or something. My brother's left-handed, but honestly, it doesn't really affect many facets of his life. That's what she's focusing on. Oh no, they're gonna break her heart. Just abuse your heritage. Tell them who your family is. Ruined. Yeah. Time to leave. So you got a timetable. Yep. I was waiting for it. I was actually waiting for her to faceplant, but if no one there knows her, she can let loose. Yeah, the ground, though, is going to be a complete muddy cluster field. I wouldn't want to be wearing sandals in it, I'll say that much. That's a good way to get injured. So she bought every piece of merchandise she could. Nice. It's got a praying mantis on it. She's a savior. They're now forever indebted into the teacher. More than they were. Didn't the same thing happen at the last thing they went to? No, but only because I understand the pain of head banging induced neck spasms. But let's be honest, age might be a factor. Hmm. How are you ever going to get any sleep? Careful, Azia, you're probably going to need to put on more sunscreen. You'll get burnt in night. Hmm. But Azia really is burdened by fair skin, isn't she? But it's only for a few days a year. And I wonder when the next music festival like this would be allowed back on, considering the current state of the world. Good point. Being able to recover as well if you're nervous or make mistakes like that on a stage in front of thousands of people is also a skill that you need to acquire. It's alright. It's good to have goals. And since you've said it, I am now expecting it, so it better be the case. But they're going to have to find some merchandise to sell as well. If life was so kind. I kind of want to go into. There aren't any mountains around here, but somewhere with less infrastructure and habitation so that there's. The light pollution levels are so low you can actually see the stars. Having a night sky that's filled with glistening overhead lights might be nice. But if you are enjoying K-On! As much as I am, then please let me know. It's been a nice, fuzzy story overall, hasn't it? Someone not having a place, starting their school life, and this is where we are. Sorry, I laughed at Azio being horribly burned. Of course. Did you just ask who Azunyan is? Did the sunburn really cause that much damage? Or it could be a new character, which would be odd and being introduced so late, but still. From what I remember, going to concert and the like, there were too many that I had no idea who the band was, didn't listen to their music. I was only going because my friends were, and I mostly didn't care about listening. It was more the entire experience, how energetic the crowd was, how everyone was getting into it, that kind of atmosphere. But I think my favourites really are the small venues where there's only a couple hundred people max. And when the warm-up bands come out and actually get in the crowd and watch the main performance. I actually met a couple of singers and bassists who did that. They were cool people. But alas, just like Sawa-chan, it is unfortunately not something I can really keep up with anymore. My poor aching joints would be no end of trouble. And that is in no way an excuse as just not wanting to go out. But now the promise has been made. We're going to stay together as a band, well, at least we want to, but we're going to play on stage, be part of what everyone is cheering for. I wish them the best. I'll be, at least, keeping a skeptical eye out for if that actually happens. Make sure to join me there, though. If you want to make sure not to accidentally completely forget about checking up on the group, subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified. But let me know down in the comments, if you were to go to an event like this, would you be there for the festivities, your friends, or the food? A dilemma, I know. But get some rest. See you in the next one. My patrons are bright and eager to experience all of the sights and sounds at the festival that would be my channel. Let's hope it doesn't end in a dumpster fire. So to Sal, Raywin, Electrican, Denman1997, Shiwan, Jennifer Rojas, Mecha, Stinsfire, Big Boy, Darkshow 7899 and everyone else, I really hope the ticket price was worth it.